Welcome back for more. You guys are back. Uh, all right. I appreciate that, Aaron. MF Duck, I thought over what you said yesterday. Looks like it's too late. You already had a kid. I would just say the only thing you can do is just completely submit. Be in submission. It's rough, but it might get better. Completely in submission. The more you struggle, the more it's gonna hurt. All right, I can't keep doing these steals for you guys because I'm looking at my balance sheet and things are just not making sense. So we'll have to sell less coffee for a little bit more money. It's rough out there. I had to fire the meth head. Yeah, I had to fire the meth head. I hope he doesn't come and steal all my stuff. You never know. You know, when you fire a meth head, they might just show up at your house and steal all their stuff. The July 4th stuff finally got scanned. Finally got scanned. We are selling coffee. Yeah, we're selling coffee here. Hey, Cajun Chief. Deltron. I used to be a pothead, and I try not to hire potheads either. They're really bad at packing. I know me when I try to pack stuff, the six should go out today or tomorrow. White coffee, actually, we're out of it, so that's being roasted right now because our roaster broke over the weekend, and the stuff from the sixth. But the stuff from the fourth went out finally. Maybe cokeheads. You just gotta have your own supply of cocaine, right? While you're doing work. Potheads really bad at packing. I hired a pothead, and okay, I hired a pothead, and in 5 hours they packed 25 packages, and he's getting paid $25 an hour. So what is that? $125 to pack 25 packages. That's the price of a pothead. We got some raw beans. They're gonna be pretty pricey. Yeah, I'll put that in my shop though. Kona coffee, green beans, a pound is gonna be $35. But if you want to try them, they are really, really nice beans right now. They're actually a fancy grade, so it's not the movement, it's the confusion because we have really complicated orders and trying to keep track of all the different grades and making sure it matches the scan sheet, they just can't do it. I mean, I know myself and I wouldn't be able to do it either. It's hard. We dealers. There you go. Now the only people who are really good at putting things into packages are Asian women. So right now I got two Asian women and it's like, and we got this one we got this one blonde girl too. She's actually really good. So we got two Asian women and a blonde girl doing it, and they're solid. But like everyone else that I've tried is just like ridiculously bad. All right, guys. You guys are good. That's true. Maybe we got to do people with weed experience. Yes. Let me see. The medium light Hawaiian. 5 pounds is gonna be 150. So that's okay for you guys. It's the same as it was before. And that's gonna be roasted today. So yeah, everything is out of stock right now, but we're assuming the roaster's coming back on today, and everything will be getting sent out. So today, we're gonna have it today. So we have the extra fancy white. We don't have the Hawaiian white. So we have a few back ordered pounds too, but I'm getting more today, assuming the roaster doesn't break again. Thank you, Jen. So we do have the white extra fancy. If you want to get the higher grade of white coffee, we have that. And FedEx, I think they must be employing millennials because they spent 30 days emailing me, and then they charged me $2,000 for it. I'm just like, you could have just called me, and not every email takes 3 days, and they're telling me storage fees are just like, these people are retarded. Jesus Christ. Don't make me start complaining about you, FedEx. I'm gonna do it every day for years. I'm very good at complaining. Years. I learned to complain from my wife, and now I never stop. I used to never complain, and then one day I decided I'm gonna be. Oh, it looks like it's out of stock there. Give me one sec, guys. I need to just. Actually, I could just create a temporary listing. So once I started complaining, I never stopped. Now I gotta learn to stop complaining. Once you get addicted to complaining. But the more you complain, the more mad you get. It doesn't help at all. And I wanted to say that to my wife, but then she's just gonna get mad at me. Just stop complaining, Jesus Christ. Like, it's not the people who complain are the problem. It's people who can't handle complaining. It's how you react to it. I was like, if there's nothing to react to, then everyone would be happy. But you're constantly asking me to react correctly. Why don't you just stop causing me to react? It's not up to me to do that. And her therapist said the same thing. Meanwhile, if she reacts to me, then it's my fault. I'm just like, freaking therapists. I hate therapists. The giveaway is 2 ounce Hawaiian coffee. 2 ounce, probably a Hawaiian medium right now. Lulu Galaxy, I didn't see. You didn't get. You didn't get what? So we do have the 8 ounce white extra fancy here. Don't have the white Hawaiian. We might have some of that later, maybe tomorrow. All right, guys. So I'm gonna not complain. Yay, that's great. Yes, medium light. Okay, let's start. So Hawaiian coffee. Our coffee, every grade of our coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. That's my personal guarantee to you. If you do get acid reflux or indigestion, I can give you 100% of your money back. And the reason why our coffee doesn't give you acid reflux or indigestion is mainly because of how we pick the coffee. Our coffee is all picked by hand. We we pick the coffee overripe, whereas most of the world's coffee is picked underripe. Whether it's red, orange, or white, or even green, most of the world's coffee is picked underripe. And when you pick coffee underripe, something like 20% of the beans, I mean, it's just loaded with tannins, right? And that's why you guys are getting acid reflux, indigestion, all that stuff. It's because you guys are, if you woke up every morning and you ate a handful of unripe strawberries, you would have a lot of stomach issues. And if you did it every day religiously, you couldn't wake up without it. You even the thought of strawberries would hurt your stomach. And you just get more and more sensitized to it, right? But if you ate strawberries that are overripe, then you're going to have no problem. This is a medium light Lulu Galaxy. If you wanted a 12 ounce of it, we're based in Hawaii. I'll be at the farm later, but right now I'm just in town, so I'm in a room. And it's because the quality of coffee has been going down too. Apparently, it's getting older. Last year, someone told me the quality of the coffee they're getting after the tariffs, the coffee has been getting lower and lower quality. So lower quality coffee means more tannins, more unripe coffee, more damaged coffee, which has more toxins in it from the coffee produced protecting itself. The white coffee shouldn't be stronger than normal, although we did maybe a tiny bit stronger because the last batch, 2 batches ago, the white coffee was just a little bit darker than it should have been. So it's a little bit lighter, yeah. And so when we pick our coffee, we're picking it overripe. We're waiting for the coffee to come deep red, purple, or brown before taking it off the trees. So we're waiting 4 to 6 weeks longer. The coffee just ages a lot more. Not ages, it ripens way more. And it's like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. When you wait that much longer for the coffee to ripen, there's just way more sugar in it. And that additional sugar translates into a smoother cup, a sweeter cup, more flavorful, but also the enzymes. We let the enzymes in the fruit convert all of the bitterness into more aroma. So our coffee has almost no bitterness in it. All those tannins, which hurt your stomach, make it hard to digest, are gone. And then all the sourness is gone, just like any other fruit. You let it ripen, the acidity becomes more sugar. And that's really what it comes down to. Hawaii, this is all coffee grown in Kona. Kona coffee. We do individual items that I have in stock, but I don't have kits. Not yet. We may do that a little later once we get our logistics figured out. But right now, we're just struggling to keep on top of the orders, as some of you guys have noted. So we pick the coffee overripe. We wait for the coffee to become soft and ready to fall off the trees. The flavor might actually just be due to different roasters. We roasted the darkest state in one roaster. The dark Hawaiian was roasted in a drum roaster. So it might be just variations from batch to batch even. So you're gonna get some of that from batch to batch. The drum roasters will tend to have a little bit more smoky flavor because it has the resins from previous roasts just building up in there. So it'll in some ways taste a little bit more flavorful. But the air roaster that we used for the estate is a cleaner feeling because there isn't any resin, so you don't get infused with any smokiness, and that so it might be more a result of that. But it comes down, Hawaii does have an active volcano. We have a constantly erupting volcano. That's what my wife's like, MF Duck, exactly like that. And then she'd go out and work out when normally she's like, I'm in so much pain. She'd drink the White Claw. She's like, I don't know if it's working. And then she's out all day working out, walking all over town, swimming. And then the next day she's sore. And then she says, I got kidney pains. And then I'm like, and I push her lower back. And she's like, oh, that's better. I was like, that's not kidney pain. That's your lower back. But she insists it's kidney pain. If I say it's not kidney pain, she flips out. So I'm just like, it's kidney pain. But then I'm freaking out because I'm like, her kidneys are going to fail. MF Duck sounds like your wife's like my wife. Which one is that? Deltron? They would hate each other because if you put two narcissists together, they hate each other. They're like, that person is so, and you're like, she's exactly like you, but they're not gonna, they'd hate each other. Yeah, that sucks. I've seen it happen. You take two people like that and you put them together. I think I always lose sales. I'm like, they spend too much money. And then now you guys are thinking, am I spending too much money? So it's just like, I shouldn't even be talking about this stuff on my show. A new kidney. It's a good question. All right. So this coffee is smoother and sweeter because of how we pick it. We pick the coffee overripe. We wait for the coffee to come deep red, purple, or brown before taking it off the trees. This is all grown in Hawaii. We never spray this coffee with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. Our Kona coffee is the most expensive coffee in the world. Unfortunately, it's because of our picking costs. In a pound of our coffee, we're paying our pickers uh, $10 to $15, whereas in a place like uh, whereas in a place like what's it called, Honduras, they're getting paid 10 cents in a pound of coffee. So we're paying people 100 times more to pick this coffee, and that's why this coffee is going to be way higher quality. We're out there picking with them. This is grown on small 6-acre farms. We don't spray this coffee with any chemical pesticides, and as a result of that, it doesn't give you the jitters. So you don't get the anxiety. Sometimes you drink coffee. Some people like it. Some people like me complaining, and I bet other people are like, "Oh, am I spending too much money like his wife? I better hold back." So I feel like that's definitely not a good line to be like, "Oh, you guys are spending wait, you're like my wife, you're spending too much money. Stop buying all this garbage." You're like, "Is this garbage?" And it's like it's really not a good way to sell coffee. But this coffee is worth the money mainly because of the fact that it won't hurt your gut. So if you drink coffee every day and your stomach hurts and you're like, I don't know if I should keep drinking coffee anymore. Before you give it up, try this coffee because this coffee doesn't doesn't hurt your stomach, won't give you acid reflux, won't give you indigestion, doesn't give you an aftertaste in your mouth. You know, if you wake up in the morning and just drink coffee, your mouth just gets nasty, right? Usually. But this coffee feels like a tea. It seems to actually feed the good bacteria in your mouth, and you're not getting nasty coffee breath from it. It just comes out to how fresh it is, how it's mold free, pesticide free. Good coffee encourages good bacteria to grow in your body. So if you give up coffee, even bad coffee encourages good bacteria. So people live, there have been studies, study after study shows that people live longer from drinking coffee. And coffee encourages this particular bacteria called butyric acid fermenting bacteria in your stomach to to grow. No coffee breath. Yep. You probably thought you have to get coffee breath, but that's not true either. So just it good coffee actually makes you live longer. It produces butyric acid, and the only other thing that allows it produces that is beans. So if you stop drinking coffee, you need to eat your beans. Coffee has 1.5 grams of fiber in it. It's also got this other alkaloid in it called trigonelline, which is just like it supports your all your organs, supports your liver, supports your kidneys, supports your brain, reduces inflammation, all sorts of really positive benefits. And it kind of gets you high. That's why you can't drink. Oh, that was my white coffee. That's why you can't drink tea and feel the way you feel on coffee, right? You can't eat a caffeine pill and feel the way you feel on coffee. It's because of this other alkaloid. And dark roasts actually roast that alkaloid away. Whereas the light coffee and the white coffee, it's loaded with this alkaloid trigonelline. I think dark coffee, I think 99.9% of the trigonelline is gone. Whereas white coffee, I think 90% of it is still there. Everything we sell here is grown in Kona. There's grade differences. Kona coffee is really high standards. So to be called Kona coffee, you have to have above 16/64 of an inch. So the Hawaiian coffee is just below 16/64. It has to be above 14/64 of an inch. To put that into perspective, what's it called? Coffee from Ethiopia only needs to be 11/64 of an inch. So even the Hawaiian beans are quite a bit larger, but that's the difference, the bean size and bean quality. Kona coffee has to be less than 10% defects. Hawaiian coffee can 3 times that. Caffeine, about 50% more in the light. I think actually it's 20% more. So only a little bit more caffeine. But there's this other compound, trigonelline, and in a light coffee, there's probably 2 or 3 times as much trigonelline. It helps to know we're not alone, right? That every woman, not every, but some women who just have kids, it becomes really hard. But they get better. They do get better, MF Duck, I think. I don't know how old your child is, but you know, the first 2 years were like so hard. And it was my fault. It was my fault. It was not her fault. It's because I wasn't there enough when she was pregnant. I was there physically, but emotionally, I wasn't there enough, right? I was a boy. I was a boy while she was pregnant. And now she hates me. So now I'm becoming a man. And now that's what she wants. Before, I was a boy. I was prioritizing my own emotions. I wanted to express myself. I wanted to be understood. But now I got to put that all aside I gotta work. I gotta make money. I gotta feed the family. It's harder, because in this day and age, you're taught you gotta be sensitive. You gotta express your emotions. It's bad to be a man. Blah blah blah. But it's all propaganda. Once you have a kid, people aren't having kids until they're 40. Anyway, this coffee also makes you think too much. You start rambling. I'm sorry, guys. And then this whole idea, be a man, you're not even supposed to say that anymore because then you make, but good morning, Izzy. You're not even supposed to say be a man anymore. That's homophobic when you say that or something. But it's all propaganda because once you have that kid, if you're not a man, the wife hates you. It is. It's all hormones. It's hard. And then I think guys get affected by the hormones too. And I think we get affected by the hormones as much or more than the women. We become unstable. So be a man, MF Duck. Sorry. All right. So back to the coffee. So again, if you guys are just joining us, this is Kona and Hawaiian coffee. It's coffee all grown in Kona, which is Kona coffee. You've never heard of it before, you got to look it up. It's just considered the world's best coffee. It's the most expensive coffee in the world, and mainly because it's grown in the U.S. It's this one that I'm running now, dark roast, is roasted on Thursday. This is the higher grade of coffee. This is 100% Kona coffee. The dark roast tastes like a toasted caramel, very clean, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion or your money back. And the difference between Kona coffee and other coffees is really how we pick it. We do also have this active volcano, and this volcano is just constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients. That makes the beans here grow larger than beans. Be a man, MF Duck. We don't have feelings. We don't have the luxury of feelings. You have a kid. All your feelings, your kid, those are in the kid. You don't have time for feelings. Only boys have feelings. all picked by hand. And we have this, we have that active volcano. It's called a Hawaiian eruption. So it's just constantly seething and putting off ash into the rain, but never really explodes. It's like me. Just every day it's seething, putting up ash, putting up sulfur. It makes our rain acidic, but it's got nutrients in it. And those nutrients replenish the soil and make everything grow bigger. Make the coffee into men. It's easy to get too many micronutrients if you put too much micronutrients into the soil. Like if men express their feelings too much, they become small. And if you don't get enough micronutrients, you know, then, then it's the coffee actually becomes then the coffee becomes like cardboard. It doesn't get any. You're not gonna see her at the farm, Aaron. You'll see all these other people, all these other women, but none of them are my wife. So, yeah, I crack myself up. All right, so that's why our coffee is so much better though. It's that slow seething eruption, constantly putting ash and sulfur into the rainwater, and the rain is just every day you get a little bit of nutrition, just like you guys. I'm your Hawaiian volcano erupting. And every day you just get enough nutrition that you feel that the beans will grow dense and flavorful. But you gotta let them ripen fully. You gotta let them reach their full genetic potential. You got to let them reach their full ripeness. Other regions, even if you let the coffee ripen fully, it's still going to be sour because it just didn't get enough nutrition. Whereas for us, because you get these micronutrients you don't get anywhere else in the world. It's actually very hard to get micronutrients into the soil. When you do let the coffee ripen, it's going to be super sweet and smooth, and that's how that's why our coffee is so good. It's because of the ripeness and the active volcano. It just brings all the flavors out. It makes the coffee the densest beans from anywhere in the world, the largest beans. And then when you pick them overripe, you only get the coffee that doesn't have any tannins in it. You get the coffee that doesn't have any acidity in it. And so when you drink this coffee for the first time, there's no bitterness, there's no sourness. It's just extremely sweet, extremely smooth. And that's really what it comes down to. It's just that ripeness that you don't really get anywhere else because everywhere else in the world the coffee is either picked by a machine or it's getting picked by people who are getting paid $1 a day. $1 per 100 pounds. People get paid by the pound, but they're getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee picked, which is $1 per 10,000 coffee beans. Imagine if you were getting paid $1 per 10,000 coffee beans. Would you take your time and pick one bean at a time, or would you be pulling as much coffee as you could off the tree? You'd be pulling as much coffee as you can off the tree. That makes a huge difference. If you go on YouTube and you look at the videos, you see people picking the coffee. They're picking it red orange. They're picking the greens. They're picking the Fuji apples. Whereas we're only picking the deep reds, the purples, and the browns. When we're done picking, and you look in our picking basket, it looks like blood. It's just a Whereas other people, you look at their picking basket, it looks like they picked Fuji apples. That's the biggest difference. It's just we're letting the coffee sit on the tree for 4 weeks longer. It has all that sunlight, ripeness. It's like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. Fuji apples are it's like green with a blotch of red on it. It's Oh yeah, we got some interesting tea here too. The cacao tea is really good. The cacao tea and then I have a turmeric flower tea, which is amazing. If you, that's, I'm the only person like in the world who has turmeric flower tea, and that's amazing. But the cacao tea is the husk of the cocoa seed. And so if you like hot chocolate, if you like, um, really, if you like hot chocolate, this is awesome because it brews like it brings the chocolate flavor right into the tea. Normally chocolate is very hard to brew, right? It's fatty, so it'll just float to the top of the water, but it doesn't really put the chocolate into the water. Whereas this is like meant to be brewed. It's like the peel and then peels of everything. That's where all the essential oils are, like orange peels, apple peels. That's where you really get the essence, and this is the peel of the cocoa seed. So it's if you love cacao, if you love chocolate, thanks, I appreciate that, Jenny. Hopefully none of the things, well, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll just keep the cacao. You can grind it up with your coffee and add a chocolate flavor into your coffee. It's just the best way to get cacao into the tea. But I also have this into water. So if you like chocolate, it's Hawaiian chocolate, so there's no bitterness in there. Uh, Give me one sec, guys. I gotta be right back. All right. There's my daughter's bike. That was her first friend there. His name is Bike. It's my daughter's first friend, Bike. She's so funny. It's Bike. It's my friend Bike. It's so much fun to have a kid. It's worth it. All right. Another tea that we have is this turmeric flower tea. Really amazing tea here. This tea is made from the turmeric flower, which only grows if you leave turmeric in the ground for over a year. So most turmeric farmers they're planting the turmeric in the spring, pulling it up in the fall. So you almost never get turmeric flowers. And then a lot of turmeric flowers are very flimsy, but we've left our turmeric in the ground for 10 years. We're specifically growing the turmeric for these flowers. And these flowers almost taste like a honeysuckle. Very sweet, and then has that slight curcumin flavor, but turmeric on its own. Yes, Donna, we can cancel that. Turmeric on its own tastes terrible. Um, all right, let us know how it tastes in real time. Yeah, and I think Steve Atten that for guys, when women cry, it makes us crazy. And there's two reactions, right? We can become really sympathetic, or we could get upset and be like, "Stop crying," and that makes things really bad. So, so that's the worst thing we can do. I feel like it's so natural for some guys to just be like, "Stop crying," and then things really hit the fan when you do that. Turmeric flower has the curcumin flavor in it, but it's not. I find curcumin nasty, and so I don't like turmeric. But this flower tea is really good because it just has a touch of turmeric essence in it, but it's an extremely sweet tea. I remember as a little kid, I was like, I never cried in front of people, so it's okay. That's what they want. They want us to cry. It's the only acceptable way of expressing ourselves. But I find it. So we make the tea from the flower. Yeah, we dehydrate the flower. That's the picture of the flower there. It's actually a really pretty flower. You can eat the flower raw, but we make the tea from flower, so it's really anti-inflammatory. It's got all the benefits of turmeric in it, but it's sweet. It tastes really sweet, and then you gotta cry in front of them. They don't want you to. Yeah, so it's really confusing for us guys. We're taught not to cry, and then they're taught to cry, and we're like, but then if we cry the wrong ways, we get, being angry is crying. It's the way guys cry, but that's the wrong way of crying. So now we're in trouble. It's just, it's hard. It's really confusing. Our genetics are all messed up. I remember I saw this study. They said men, the male genetics is actually extremely unvaried. It shows that I think it was like only 10% of men reproduce through history, whereas women, all of them, yeah, they have a genetic diversity that men don't have. So there's something genetically wrong with us. But there's no sympathy for that. That's the problem. Yeah, so we're stuck in a hard place. We cry the wrong way. We cry by yelling. We cry by shutting down, and then we're in trouble. So it's not easy. But turmeric flower tea, really anti-inflammatory, some of the sweetest tea. We just produced this. We just harvested this stuff and dehydrated it. You get two stalks. You take one stalk, put it in a liter of water, and boil it for 5 minutes, and you're gonna get this sweet, It's pale yellow, but it's really sweet. And it's got this hint of the turmeric flavor in it, but it's not. I find turmeric to be disgusting. Like I don't like turmeric at all. But the flower only has a hint of that flavor and then really, really sweet. So it's actually really good. So I like drinking this, but I don't like drinking, turmeric roots. Has a lot of the flavor of the turmeric roots. Ginger is amazing. Yeah, but turmeric flower, this is actually Southeast Asians add this to their rice. So it's going to sweeten your rice. You can use it as an herb. You can use it in your uh, in your cooking. It'll give you this light turmeric flavor, but it makes everything really sweet. It's so sweet that you can, if you leave the flour out, ants will come and try to eat it. So it's just really, really sweet. And so that's one of our teas. But back to the coffee. Coffee is also very sweet. The coffee won't give you acid reflux, won't give you indigestion. We don't spray the coffee with any chemical pesticides. So it's organically grown. It won't give you the jitters as a result of that. We have we have peaberry coffee, which is the highest grade of coffee that we have. It's the rarest coffee. The peaberry coffee is a denser bean. So this is the smoothest of all our coffees, but it's also the most expensive. As you can see, people are charging $56 for 7 ounces of this coffee in the stores. Some people on Amazon, someone told me they saw it on Amazon for $620 for or $650 for 5 pounds. This is farm direct, so we don't every time coffee changes hands, it has to you have to double the price just to cover, your business costs and all that stuff. But this is coming direct from the farm. We have everything integrated, but that's why we get some delays sometimes, as some of you guys have noticed. So I apologize for that. We're trying to get that back up. And but the best value that we have is, and the different grades of coffee you see here, each of those is they're all coming off the same tree. It's just a bean density difference, a bean size difference. So the best value, we have this OG, which is stands for off grade, which sounds off putting, but it's actually almost as good as the Hawaiian coffee. And for a pound, we can do this for 18 bucks. So this is like a great daily drinking coffee. Quality of the coffee is still probably better than the beans you guys are buying in the stores. And the flavor profile of the dark is a toasted caramel, dark chocolate. Doesn't have any bitterness. Also won't give you any acid reflux or indigestion. The couture is really good, right? And as you grind it finer, you get more of the chocolate flavor out of it. Couture is a special breed of coffee. It's actually a denser bean than our regular coffee. It's the only coffee that doesn't come off the same trees. We'll have more in a few more months, but yeah, that's the last of it. This is our dark OG, and it's 18 bucks for a pound. Almost as good as the Hawaiian coffee. You probably won't even be able to tell the difference. So it is a really nice coffee. If you guys just joined us, my name is Ed. We're coming to you live from Hawaii. I'll be back at the farm in a few hours, but right now I'm coming at you from just a an apartment room, and all this coffee is coming off South Kona Farms. South Kona is a region on the Big Island of Hawaii where we have an active volcano. Volcano is constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients, so the beans here grow larger than beans from anywhere else in the world. It's going to be a richer flavor, but the real unique part about our coffee is it won't give you acid reflux, it won't give you coffee breath, it won't give you indigestion. The pea berry is the highest grade of coffee that we have. It's the smoothest coffee. It's almost buttery, and the bean is twice as dense as our regular coffee. It's it's a a deformity at the tips of the trees where one of the beans basically takes over the entire fruit. Usually there's two beans in a fruit. Pea berry is one of them takes over. It's like a peanut. You know, peanuts usually have two, but sometimes one of the peanuts takes over and you have one big one. And the pea berry is less than 1% of our crop. So you have to filter through 100 pounds just to collect 1 pound of pea berry. But it is, you know, it's got a more complex flavor profile than our regular coffees because when you go to roast that dense bean, the outside roasts kind of a little bit better. There's less surface area for the oils to escape because it's closed. It becomes like this football. Whereas normal beans have that flat half to it, and that's where a lot of the oils will escape when you go to roast it. But the pea berry just becomes like a football and it closes in on itself. And then when you, it's like a man, it just closes in on itself and you can't, none of the emotions release. But when you go to drink it, it just has a richer flavor. It's got it's a richer bean. You use less grounds, but you got to kind of weigh it. MF Duck, what do you what's your job? What's that job that you don't like? But sometimes yeah, we all want what we don't have though, right? And so this and the medium pea berry just has this light caramel, milk chocolate, raisin flavor. All the medium coffees are really good for espresso. Maybe some of the best espresso is the medium coffee because it just tastes like this sweet toasted caramel with brown sugar and raisins. The raisins is sort of the unique flavor of our region. And we also have this medium estate, which is combines the top four grades of Kona coffee. This was the freshest one that we have roasted on Thursday. They named you so your name is Jenny and not Jennifer. That's like how my name is Ed and not Edward or Ed. Yeah, it's just Ed. You threw the green beans in the white coffee. I'm not an Eddie either, but the Italians used to call me Eddie, Fast Eddie. Used to call me Fast Eddie. And my roommate in college used to call me Fast Eddie too. All right. So, peaberry, we have a light peaberry as well. And the light roast in the white coffee is really what's going to give you a buzz. So, you guys might have heard from your friends about this white coffee. That is, everyone's just telling us, what was that? The settlement is good. You don't like your work. Remember that movie, The Game? I feel like what you need, MF Duck, is we need to hire like a company to come and like kidnap, like just like while you're setting up the cameras, they're gonna raid your workplace and like kidnap you, and then you'll like realize the importance of security, and you'll go through this whole thing. That would be cool. Then you'll be like, wow, my job was cool after all the fear. With yeah, we gotta get in cahoots with your wife and hire someone to come and kidnap you while you're setting up the cameras. Like they're just gonna raid one of the offices you work at. So the lighter roasts give you a really strong buzz, and it's also gonna be I think the healthiest coffee. So if you guys want a buzz that is different than the caffeine. A lot of us when we drink coffee, we feel a little bit euphoric. We feel talkative, we feel euphoric, and that's not the caffeine. You can't just eat a caffeine pill. It's actually this other compound in coffee called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which, if you guys watch Breaking Bad, was the meth part of methamphetamine. It's a precursor. It's the psychoactive, hallucinogenic part. And there's some of that in coffee, especially the lighter roasts. And in the white coffee, it's loaded with trigonylene. Trigonylene is also being extracted as a supplement. So people actually take trigonylene as a supplement now. It does all sorts of stuff that I can't talk about because I don't want to get flagged. But it is a supplement. It supports all your liver, your organs. It reduces inflammation. Uh, supports healthy blood sugar levels, things like that. So it's just a powerful compound, almost like I don't want to say that. Powerful supporting food, superfood. And that's the real benefit of coffee. That's where a lot of the health benefits of coffee come from, is actually that trigonylene. And trigonylene is only in the lighter roasts, like the white coffee. You're going to get the trigonylene, quite a bit of it. And the white coffee just gives you, it's like drinking 10 cups of coffee. This is we only have the white and extra fancy right now. Feels a little bit like turmeric, but gives you a buzz, right? Turmeric kind of calms you down too, but the white coffee feels like turmeric on your body. Like your body feels like you ate a lot of turmeric, but it also feels like you drank 10 cups of coffee. Turmeric is a root. It's that orange spice that Indians use in curry. It's that powder, and it's supposed to be really good for your joints. We have that turmeric flower, which tastes really good, whereas the turmeric root itself, I don't really like it. I have trouble eating that stuff. But the white coffee is what I would recommend if you guys want to replace your energy drinks. If you want to just get a buzz, really strong buzz, almost like a substance. You like golden milk. I think if you know how to make golden milk, that's actually pretty good. But if you like turmeric, I would try this turmeric flower tea that we have. This is coming from the flower of the turmeric plant, and it has all the benefits of turmeric, but tastes like sugar, tastes like a honeysuckle. And this is produced from our own farm. We're the only ones that have this. It's coming from the flower of the turmeric. You can see the flower coming out of that turmeric plant. We dry it. This you get 2 stalks, which will make about 2 liters of tea. You put 1 stalk in a liter of water and boil it for 5 minutes, and you get this sweet, light yellow, just almost like a honeysuckle with a touch of turmeric flavor to it. Really interesting. No one has it because you have to leave the turmeric in the ground for more than a year just to get your first flower. We've left our turmeric in the ground for 10 years, so we don't really harvest the roots. And so it's just, we're just got these flowers growing. And most of the time, the flowers are kind of flimsy, but our flowers are really strong. We harvest the flower, they come in once a year. We dry it, and it's just this really tasty, sweet tea that we have. What else we got going on here? We have these, if you guys like teas, we also have a cacao tea, which is very calming, ironically. We think chocolate has caffeine in it, but it's actually got this compound theobromine, which is the dominant alkaloid. And alkaloids are things like caffeine, um, trigonylene, nicotine. Cocaine is an alkaloid, and theobromine is the active compound in cacao. A lot of, I remember growing up, people were like eating chocolate is like being in love, and I was like, you eat the chocolate, you don't feel anything, but you actually feel the theobromine in this cacao, and for me, it counteracts caffeine. So if I drink too much coffee, I'll drink some of this tea, and I feel better right away. It's the mirror image of caffeine, and our body processes that differently. So it actually calms us down rather than makes us amped up. And so it's got a whole different, it's really good for your throat as well. You had our coffee, nice, nice. Which probably got a sample. That's true, MF Duck. Yep, that is true. They sell that stuff at vape shops now. I can't believe it. They're selling chocolate mushrooms. I'm like, how are they selling this at vape shops? All right. I'm just gonna run through each of my items quickly because I'm about to have to probably get off soon. I'll be back in a few hours. I don't have a show scheduled, but I will be back. So bookmark my next show or give me a follow. Yeah, they sell chocolate mushrooms in vape shops now. I'm like, oh my God. I bought one and I ate the whole thing. And the guy told me just to eat one and I ate the whole thing and I was, oh man, the mushroom people are still with me. It's the medium estates. The guy was like, just eat one. It's really strong. I didn't believe it. I was like, this is some vape shop garbage. So I ate the whole. The medium estate is nice and dense, extremely, extremely sweet. Really good for espresso. This is probably one of the best ones for espresso. This was just roasted on Thursday, so an extremely freshly roasted coffee as well. And I can do one of these medium estates. Let's do these at his auction. How about that? So this is the 8 ounce bag of the medium estate. The dark estate gives you the toasted caramel. The medium estate has a raisin flavor to it. So you get more of the flavors of the region in the lighter roasts. And the estate coffee go online anywhere from $50 to $100 a pound. And you guys get this, whatever it goes for. I'm probably not going to do too many bags of this. They tend to not go for the prices I need for like $8 for 8 ounces is just cheaper than what you're paying for coffee from the store from Starbucks, right? So this is a really good coffee, and once you try this, there's no going back. You're gonna realize you've been drinking unripe coffee beans, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion as well. So you guys missed out on that one. I can't do any more of these $1 auctions, I think. The economy is just too slow these days. So this is the medium peaberry. Peaberry is densest beans that I was saying. This one makes the best espresso out of all our coffees. Just the velvety richness of it really gets extracted well by the espresso machine. It's got a lot of feels like oil. How are they allowed to sell mushrooms at shops? That's weird. We got a dark Hawaiian here. Dark Hawaiian coffee will this is the best value. Really nice beans, just 14/64 of an inch. Basically Kona coffee. I think I'm gonna have to go soon, guys. Basically Kona coffee here. And I would suggest if you've never tried our coffee before, this is the one you want to start with because this one is the sweetest one. It tastes like coffee. You know, if you want a coffee just tastes like coffee, you're not trying to be novel. You don't want the fruitiness. You don't want anything interesting. You just want good coffee that won't give you a stomach ache. You don't have to add cream or sugar to it because it's already got so much sugar in it. Then this is the coffee you want to try. Just rich, bold, and smooth, with no acid reflux or indigestion whatsoever. If you guys drink coffee and you get acid reflux and you think that's just part of the coffee ritual, you gotta drink this coffee. It won't give you coffee breath. It won't hurt your stomach. It won't give you acid reflux because of how ripe we picked the coffee. We're waiting for the coffee. Espresso, medium, and the dark are awesome for espresso. Just rich, but without the bitterness that you expect from espresso. We don't have the bitterness comes from coffee that was picked unripe, and it's when you have a sour coffee and you roast it dark, that acidity becomes bitterness. And because we pick our coffee overripe, because we wait for the coffee to become soft and ready to fall off the trees before picking it, literally like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown, there's just way more sugar in the coffee. And when you go to roast that, it caramelizes, and that you can taste that sweetness. It's just and all the acidity. There's no acidity there. There's none of that weird bitter aftertaste. Our coffee is also roasted fresh, right? This is roasted Thursday, and so because it's so fresh, you don't have any of that mold. You don't have the staleness. You don't have the aftertaste. I don't think there's a best way to make it, but in terms of health, if you want to use a paper filter, no matter how you make it. If you don't use a paper filter, coffee has this compound in it which interferes with the way your body processes cholesterol. But a paper filter removes that. So that's the only thing you got to watch out for in coffee. If you don't use a paper filter, it can cause cholesterol issues and pancreas issues if you drink a lot of it. So definitely, if you drink a lot of coffee, you want to use a paper filter. And this dark roast is probably the one you want to start with. It's the sweetest one, tastes like a toasted caramel dark chocolate, and I can guarantee you this will not give you acid reflux or indigestion. If it does, I'll give you your money back. Thousands. I think I've sold 10,000 bags of this, and only one person has asked for their money back because of acid reflux. So that's that's the dark coffee. White coffee is coffee that is roasted 100 degrees lighter than the dark roast. So this is like 1 cup of white coffee is like 10 cups of dark coffee, and it's just raw. It's got the full active ingredients, active compounds in coffee are just super active, and you're gonna get a huge buzz from this coffee. It's like an energy drink. Some people even told me they're replacing their energy drinks with this white coffee. So this is just an extremely strong coffee that doesn't taste like coffee. It tastes like a toasted corn with sugar, brown sugar, and peanuts. It's still raw. Most other coffees, you can't roast it white because it's too bitter, too sour, because they picked it unripe and you have to cook it extra. But our coffee is picked so ripe that you can roast it like this. Or a lot of green beans are a little bit moldy, and when you roast it this light, you can taste the mold and it gives you stomach pains. But our coffee doesn't have any mold. It's we keep the coffee in the shell until we need until we roast it. Whereas most, if you're importing coffees, you actually have to shell the coffee and then you put it in these plastic bags and then you put them on the ship. So that coffee is sitting on the boat for months, getting shipped all over the world, sitting in warehouses, sitting in customs, and then they get roasted. Whereas we keep our coffee at the farm, at the mill. We keep it in the shell. We mill it maybe a month before we roast it. It gets sorted into the different grades, and then we roast it as we need it. So it's just way fresh, keeps the coffee alive. You can actually plant the coffee seed, and it'll grow into a longer viable. And that's most coffee in the world. Most coffee in the world has been shelled. Once you shell any nut, if you guys know about nuts, once you shell a nut, it starts to rot. Whereas our coffee is kept in the shell until we need to roast it. The medium roast is the first coffee where you can taste the flavors of the region, is what we call it, which means you get a kind of a raisin flavor to it. It's it's still bold like the dark roast, but you get this raisiny, almost like a raisinette flavor to it. So This one's the one where you can start to taste the specialty aspect of the coffee, where it's a little bit fruity. You get notes of raisins, little notes of a Nutella kind of flavor. And all of our coffee is just like candy coffee. It's like an ice wine where you don't it tastes doesn't taste like coffee. It does just tastes like pure coffee, but without the bitterness, without the sourness. And the medium Hawaiian is the one that has this nice raisin flavor to it. This is 100%. The label is 100% Hawaiian coffee. The difference is we do have a Kona coffee, but that's the higher grade. So all this coffee is grown in Kona, but the grading of Kona goes Hawaiian, prime Kona, number one Kona, fancy and extra fancy. So this is the first grade of coffee that we can call Hawaiian coffee, but we can't label it Kona. So it's Hawaiian coffee grown in Kona. A little bit confusing, kind of technical detail. It's a smaller bean than the Kona bean. It's a 1464. That's why it's cheaper than the Kona coffee. I do have Kona. Yep. I don't know if I have the samples. Let me see if I have some samples of the Kona here. I do have a sample of the Kona. Fancy. I'm freezing a little bit. To be called Kona coffee, it needs to be less than 16/64 of an inch. Let's see if this will run. I gotta reset my live stream. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. Oh, my wife just screamed. That was a big one. I think my daughter bit her nipple. So this is the Kona. You gotta. As long as I stay calm, it's gonna be fine. So this is the 100% Kona. So this combines the top four grades of the Kona coffee. It's a little bit smoother than the Hawaiian, but most people can't tell the difference. The beans look better. The beans are denser, so it is a better bean. It's the higher but all this coffee's coming off the same trees. They're all sitting together until we grade them. Yeah, everyone else who meets me, I'm like the easiest boss because I've been trained by my wife. So, but for my wife, I'm not calm enough. But every other guy she meets, there's no way they can handle her. She's like, it's like learning to play the guitar on a seven string. That's my wife. So everyone else is easy. Anyway, so this is our Kona Estate. This is the 100% Kona coffee. This is the higher grade of coffee. Get ready for the day to start. And this was just roasted on Thursday. Chocolate covered raisin with a little bit of Nutella. It's a little bit nuttier than our Hawaiian coffee because the bean is denser. When you go to roast it, it doesn't lose the essence, and so it's smoother. It's a little bit nutty, and it is 100% Kona. We also have it in the dark. I'm gonna run these a little bit shorter. Maybe I'll do a sudden death. No, just running shorter. And then we have the Kona and Peaberry. That looks like that was my last medium Kona. Yeah, that was my last one there. We also have a dark sampler. This is the dark sampler. The dark Kona is also richer, a little bit nuttier than the Hawaiian, smoother, but gonna taste almost the same as the Hawaiian. We also roast this batch of Hawaiian was roasted on a drum roaster, so it's gonna have a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more. $2 start on the Kona Estate here. A little bit richer. This one is on air roaster, but also roasted on Thursday. This is the freshest one that we have, and this Estate coffee combines the top four grades, so includes some of the extra fancy, which is the biggest beans that we have. This one makes a great espresso. To just change that. Probably got about 13 minutes left here, so I'm gonna definitely go by 7:30. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in trouble. So I was gonna say, MF Duck. The reason why you got to fight to stay is because and I'm gonna bring up another controversial topic here. The single largest risk factor of daughters getting sexually abused is from a stepdad. Single largest risk factor. So you gotta fight. You gotta fight. You don't want that to happen. And in America, the stats are bad. The stats are bad. I think it's like 1 in 4. It's like really bad here. Really bad here. All right, guys. We got some peaberry. Dark peaberry is the richest and highest grade of coffee. It takes 100 pounds of normal coffee to make 1 pound of peaberry. And this is the richest one. It's the rarest coffee. It's the most prized. You can take a bottle of this peaberry, put it on show it to any coffee fanatic, and when they see how big these peaberries are, they'd be like, "Where did these peaberries come from? I've never seen a peaberry that big." Huge beans. And so the peaberry has a richer flavor. It's a kind of a more varied flavor profile because when you go to roast the peaberry, it roasts differently. It's a denser bean. And when you roast that dense bean, it's smoother, way smoother. The light peaberry, you get this honey flavor to it. The medium and light peaberry has this honey finish to it, which is very different than our typical caramel brown sugar. It's like it tastes like bees honey, which is kind of really interesting. So yeah, this system here is totally backwards. They encourage people to break up, and then they wonder why there's so much of that bad stuff going on. Statistically, single largest factor is a stepdad. Very bad. Sure, they're great stepdads, but that's the single largest risk factor. Yes, I can do an 8 ounce. Oh, you want a full 8 ounce still, Mike? These are 2 ounces. So the light peaberry, I'll run a temporary listing for an 8 ounce bag. Hope I still have some light paper. I might be running out of this. All right, 8 more minutes till the day starts. Gotta get myself prepared. I gotta be a man. You know, in commie China, it's only 1 in 8, whereas in America, it's 1 in 4 or 1 in 3. It's really bad here. Maybe we need to go communist, but it's not even the system. It's just the culture. Russia is like 1 in 2 people are sexually abused. That's messed up. The Russians. That's why the Russians are crazy. All right, Peaberry Light. Sorry, I bring up some stressful topics. Yep, communist China is only 1 in 8. Only 1 in 8. America's 1 in 4. Russia's like 1 in 3 or 1 in 2. So, all right. So we did that. If you green beans unroasted, I'll do this for 32. Putin was a pedophile victim. Putin was in, I think he was like raised by Lenin or somebody. He was raised by a famous communist, so he was pedophile victim. Yeah. Got another dark sampler of the estate here if you guys want it. I used to think Putin was the boss. Like, when I was crazy, yeah, I would go on Facebook and anything Putin said, I thought those were the orders. So I thought he was the leader. I bet there's a lot of people who think that in America, I mean. But then he got defeated. So you went through that too. You thought Putin was the leader. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, a lot see, I'm telling you, there were tons of me. They made him seem like he was the leader of the free world. I think Russia is the billionaires and China is the corporate people. So that when I see stuff about China in the news, I think, oh, those are the corporations. And when I see stuff about Russia, I'm like, oh, those are the billionaires. And the billionaires are allied with the corporations. That's why Russia and China are together. And that's right. Yep, we elected him. Good job, guys. But you can't blame regular people. They don't understand what's going on. It's not their fault. They're like my wife. They couldn't even imagine it. They couldn't even accept it. It's too beyond normal thought processes to be able to accept. I did. I did. 2 ounce peaberry. Like that guy Silver was Russian. So it's all these Russians actually moved to America after communists collapsed and they kind of infiltrated into our local governments. And so they got a lot of influence. And their whole because half of them were sexually abused, their whole mentality is totalitarianism. They can't help it. So it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate the position we're in these days. It's a very bad position. I got 3 more minutes left, guys. I'll be back later, but um, that means Donna, you were a spy, huh? Or someone recruited you into something. Trump is the man. I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. I don't know. I voted for him the first time because I thought, it was Clinton versus Trump. And back then in Chinatown, they were telling me they were stuffing garbage bags full of cash and giving it to Clinton. I was like, we can't be supporting that. And I had a friend who thought like he was like an assassin for her. I was just like, this is the worst thing. And we need to just get Trump in there to get rid of him. But the Trump, and then they were talking about the pedophiles, and back then I was like, the Pizza Gate. So I voted for Trump the first time, but after I've only voted for one person in my life, and that was Trump. But after that, the second time, like, I'm not voting for this. He's now under the control of New York, and I don't trust any politician from New York, no matter what, because they're communist. They're all Russian. I can't tell if you guys are joking or not. I think so. I don't have any yellow Katura, but the pea berry does taste a little bit like yellow Katura. So this pea berry light is very close to the Katura. Pea berry medium, really close to the Katura. So this one's a good one to try. Maybe Hey Jules Chest. You guys are, yeah, if you want to cancel that MJ, I can give you, I would do the medium actually. So why don't I just cancel that light one? I'll submit a cancel request and I'll grant that, and I would get the medium pea berry actually. That one tastes almost the same, as it has that richness of the couture, has that honey finish, but it's a little bit darker. So I would rather, if I were you, I'd rather do the medium pea berry. It is darker, and it's got more developed flavors than I elected Trump to punish America. That was the reason why I voted for him. I said America needs to be punished, and greatest president ever. Punishment. God's judgment. That's why I voted for him. And said America needs to be punished. Yeah, you can cancel the light pea berry. I think very differently. And I supported the war in Iran because I wanted Iran to punish our enemy, our allies, because I said we can't punish them. We need our enemies to punish our allies. So I said, let's do it. Let's have the war in Iran so our allies can be punished. Now they're getting punished. The Punisher. It's all my fault. It is actually. You couldn't even imagine. And I also said America needs to be humiliated so that they realize our technology isn't that great, and then they'll buy my spaceships. That's why we started the war in Iran, so that so I can sell spaceships. That's the real reason. Because we have the best power, we have the best technology. No one can touch us. I was like, oh yeah, let's have a war with Iran, and you can't even beat a third world country. Now they want the spaceships. They're like, you were right. We need this technology because we're not actually that great. We can't even beat this third world country that's been under sanctions for 50 years. Punishment. It's God's judgment. It's time. It's the end of times. It's time for us to be punished. We grew arrogant. Now we need to be punished. And discount deals. I actually was the one who killed this Ayatollah Khomeini 10 years ago. So I said, you can kill him, but you can't kill someone who's already. And it didn't work because we killed him with porn. I don't know if I told you that story. We killed the Ayatollah Khomeini during the Syrian war with porn. He had prostate cancer. He looked at a million Mia Khalifa videos and it popped his prostate. He died back then, and the Iranians since then have been wanting to have him killed because they couldn't tell people that he died from looking at porn. And so I told everyone because everyone forgot. That was during Obama, and everyone forgot. They're like, I don't believe that. It's like, all right, you go try and kill him. It's not going to do anything because he's already dead. They've been running the country without him for 10 years. It's not going to do anything. And then didn't do anything. All right, guys, I got to go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. So I was the one who killed him 10 years ago with Mia Khalifa porn. I did. And I told everyone, you can kill him again. It's not going to do anything because he's already dead. You can't kill someone who's already dead. It's not going to do anything. They didn't listen to me. They thought it was a conspiracy. They thought I was crazy. That's why democracy sucks. Every 4 years, you get a new group of retards. They don't believe the last group. Candy time.